Top 11 survey in 1967, Arthur Conley, Sweet Soul Music, Jackson Armstrong on the radio at Radio 11 for a nostalgia weekend, a reunion weekend. I'll be with you till 5 o'clock today, and then I take the big bird back to the boonies. On a telephone is one of my best friends over the years at Radio 11, our newsman, Ken Courtright. As you may remember, we used to make fun of the way Ken was dressed and do things like that. But in those days, it was fun to talk about the people who were doing the news. You don't hear that anymore. News people are more in the background now, Ken, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, that's for sure. Yes, Jack, I remember trying to read a newscast, and you came in with a pen, a fountain pen, and squirted ink all over the newscast, my shirt. Terrible.
We had a big blackboard in the news booth, remember?
Yeah.
He was in the middle of one.
Wearing ink, see, but I didn't know
that. You thought all your clothes were ruined. I can remember, we weren't allowed to laugh, folks. It was NBC. We took everything very seriously. You know, when you did the news, and don't laugh. And Ken would be in there trying to do the news, and I'd be taking the eraser from the blackboard and blowing chalk dust in his hair. And remember, we used to take your hair and make it into like bows while you were talking. We do all these crazy things.
Had a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's a good thing we didn't get blown out. They got blown out for other things instead. But I remember a night. It was a Sunday night. I got bored, and I said, I pulled the microphone out at the Radio 11 studios out to the windowsill. We were on like second story, right? Was it second story?
Uh-huh.
And I pulled the microphone out, and I said, drive by. It's Sunday night. I didn't think anybody was around anyway. You know, drive by, I'll say hi to you.
Rockwell.
Yeah, that's it. And I was out there on the ledge, and all of a sudden the intersection is full of cars, and nobody can get anywhere. It's like a giant traffic jam. And every time the record's in, and I open the mic, everybody honks their horn. And it turns into a giant party. You remember the rest of that story?
I sure do, Jack. Kids parked their cars right in the middle of the street. There was a terrific traffic jam as far as the eye could see. You know, East 6th, Rockwell, clear down to Superior, up to Euclid Avenue. Everything was stopped, and these kids were swarming out of their cars, climbing up just to get a look at you. For the statues in the Federal Reserve Building, they're sitting up there, you know, like 2 stories up. There's a lot of, danger there. These kids could have fallen.
Yeah, right.
Stuff like that. You're on the ledge at the NBC building there. And, my gosh. And I would come dashing in from the newsroom. I'd say, Jack, they've got the police on the way here. You know, I could hear it on the police radio. They've got 6 cars coming.
Right.
Shut the window.
You're right, come back in. And I'd like, no, I'm not going to do that. The heck with them. What can they do? And I kept broadcasting, and they cops climbed up on the cars just beneath the window and shook their nightsticks at me and told me they were going to put me in jail and throw the key away. You remember that?
Yes, I do remember that. And then after your air shift, they were waiting for you. They had Cleveland police down there. You know, now Cleveland police are bigger than normal police. See?
That's true.
They're all 6'5".
Right, and they were unhappy because
down there at the front entrance and at the side entrance to the building. And they were, beating on the doors.
With the nightsticks. Let us in. We're going to string him up. I remember that.
Right, and I smuggled you out of there in the back seat of my car. We came out of the Arwell parking garage.
That's true. You aided and abetted a fugitive. I was distributing the thief.
We drove past the paddy wagon they had intended to carry you away in.
That's right. And they went to the Bob Martin, the general manager, the next day and said, we want that boy in jail. It took Bob about an hour to talk him out of. They were going to throw me in jail, throw the key away. And he called me in his office. He said, don't you ever do that again unless you call me first so we can get people to take pictures of it. We blew all that publicity and we don't have any record of it. That's What nutty times. Kid, what are you doing now?
Well, right now I'm at WDBN FM.
And that's in where?
And that's in Medina, 95 on the FM dial.
And what show do you do?
Noon till 6.
Well, they should listen to that beautiful music voice of yours. Boy, is it good to talk to you.
It's certainly good to talk to you, Jack.
Thank you, Ken.
Turn my head.